Welcome to the ICL on a Wednesday. Today we have the rules of villainy. They paid a lot for me to do that, so. And the ink and lore. Fantastic teams all around. It should be a wonderful night. And tonight I am in the booth with the man with two voices. Double O voice, Mikey. How are you today?
I am doing great today. I'm here. I'm at ICL. It's going to be a great time tonight.
All right. And we're here with someone who's never gonna give you up. Marky Mark, never shift. How are you today?
Hello, I'm doing fantastic this evening. How are you doing, Luke?
Well, I'm doing pretty good, actually. Just had some pizza, here to watch some Lorcana. Oh, it's gonna be a fantastic time.
For sure. Coming off a great weekend of watching a bunch of great Lorcana as well.
Oh, don't remind me of how poorly I played in that Lorcana, though, because
Oh, I'm sorry.
it was not fantastic for me.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough room.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to lose. That's kind of how it goes when it's these big invitationals, in my experience. Somebody's got to take the losses, no matter how good you are.
There
A lot of
tends to
good
only be
players.
a few winners, that's for sure. And tonight, we're going to see which of these teams gets to declare themselves the winner. And, Ink and Lore, I do believe they played last season. I could be crazy. I'm pretty sure they played last season. It's all a blur to me. So many new teams coming and going. Rules of Villainy, though this is their new season. And, they're trying to make a name for themselves. Ink and Lore is trying to get farther than they did last season. I'm like 99%. I'm pretty sure they did.
I love this pretty sure. It's not like you run it or anything.
That's the problem is I know too much information and cannot remember it all.
Yeah, I think you've made the joke before as well that half the teams have ink in the name, so it all kind of blends together a little bit. So I totally understand.
My team doesn't. We
It's
just
true.
like
Me
to
neither.
pick the worst decks and draw the worst cards when we have our feature match.
Was your team name initially Guardians of the Ink, and then I made that
No.
joke and you had to change it?
No.
Actually, I think it might be.
It was originally going to be Seven Deadly Sins, but we realized that's probably not Disney appropriate.
Yeah.
Well, you're fired. That's how it happens.
Fired. That was pretty good. It just wasn't appropriate.
It's not even the same game. That's a different franchise in general. Good anime. Not terrible. Seen better.
And the first half, good. Second half,
The movie Seven, fantastic.
yeah.
Also not Disney appropriate, but
That's true.
entertaining movie nonetheless. Maybe I'll have an anime ranking stream sometime, Mike.
Oh, that'll be dangerous.
That's asking for trouble. Yeah.
He's going to put initial D up there, and it's going to be like one side says it's amazing, and then one side's going to be like, this is horrible. That's the word. That's the direction it's going to go.
Initial D has nothing on Great Teacher Onizuki. Come on now, like if we're gonna watch 90s anime, it does not matter. It does not matter.
You're saying it wrong. You can't rate it if you're going to say it wrong.
Oh well. We shall see about that, as I mispronounce every show we watch.
Oh no, guys! Naruto's gonna be Naruto to him. Watch. He's gonna say it wrong constantly, and then Garrick is gonna come in.
I actually was talking with my teammates. So it was like, if we end up playing Naruto as well, we're gonna have to get little headbands that have the Maelstrom logo on it. Hidden Village Maelstrom.
That'd be
all I'm gonna say is, if y'all think that it's hard to get Lorcana product right now, don't do it. Don't. If you think this is bad, don't even try for the Naruto TCG.
Yeah, every new TCG is a struggle. I mean, everyone underprints because of a variety of reasons, I think. I know my friends tried Power World and they're struggling to get that product, so it's everything.
The Power World's just one of those, it's like, Oh, they're $50 boxes. They won't sell that well. Sells out in the first 10 minutes.
Well,
Because they were $50 boxes.
We are in the golden era of TCGs. We happen to play
For
one of the
sure.
best ones out there. I used to play Magic, also a fantastic game, but not as good as Lorcana. I've had more fun and won more money playing Lorcana than I have in like 20 years of Magic. So I'm pretty stoked with that. I would have to agree we're in that golden era, and I have been dabbling myself as well with a few other card games on the side. But Lorcana is currently my my main love, I should say.
Yeah,
I'm
Bucky.
right there with you.
Bucky and Diablo will do that for you, Luke.
I did not actually really get much out of Bucky.
Oh, right. You just got Diablo during
Yeah,
his heyday.
I did quite well with Diablo, yes.
Mhm.
100% with Diablo here. Well, we're going to be jumping over to the match here in a moment. What kind of predictions do you have for this lifetime grudge match between Rules of Villainy and Ink and Lore? If you did not know, for generations, these two teams have been competing against each other in all manners of card games throughout history.
Rules of Villainy is taking a 3-0.
3-0. A clean 3-0. That's
Seems sweet.
vicious.
Because if I don't say that, Brad will never forgive me.
Did you what was your prediction last time? Did you predict with the last week?
Yeah, I was like 50-50 on my last prediction, if I remember correctly.
50-50. I was going to say
Pretty
the
sure
caster
I was
curse
right in
is
mine.
real.
I
And it is
picked
looking
Mad
for
Hatters
one
because they
person.
had previous experience, and I'm pretty sure they pulled that one out. So I'm going to go with Ink and Lore, 2-1.
Well, the action's just about to start, and I think I'm going to go for Rules of Villainy just from the little dragon, but I actually really like Ink and Lore and have some friends on the team. So it's going to be hard. I kind of want both to go, but that dragon is so adorable. We're going to jump to the action. We've got Mark and Rude Rose over in the booth.
Hello, hello. Doing great. Oh, I'm doing fantastic. How are you tonight, sir? Okay. Split down the middle. Huh. Okay. Well, if I had to pull a bias, it's the purple sleeves. I love purple. We got purple sleeves on Andy's side, so that gets me leaning that way a little bit. But I do love Final Fantasy as well, so big fan of it. All right.
Looks like we put, is that
My
ham?
guess was gonna be Amethyst and Amber, and it was a ham. So I think, oh, a
The
mirror.
counter ham. Oh, could have, I mean, we technically haven't seen the amethyst, so there's-
That's true. I
there's
guess
a
ham could
chance
go to other things.
double
but
ham into the willow. Do we have a 1-drop? Nope. Goes ahead and passes.
No follow up, but we do get to ramp up to our 4-drop, which is what these decks really like to do. And yeah, Steven's off to the races,
Yeah.
getting that early lore.
Easy quest with Luisa Madrigal. No threat from the willow coming in. This has been a most delicious matchup so far. We've seen 3 hams go into the inkwell on both sides. As the big Luisa Madrigal comes out, it looks like is that the
It's
fodder?
Augustin
Augustin.
Madrigal 3/6 with support. Can make everything just about get hit by a Gaston or a World's Greatest Criminal Minds. It's a really big centerpiece for this deck.
Or even if the willow is really feeling brave, she can just go in and she always says her bark's worse than her bite. Wham! She's gonna hit you with a big old 4-cost bark. As we see, I believe that's Epic Ticker. Yeah,
That is right. And slow the tempo down a little bit, get the willow back in the hand. Really like both of these starting lines. It looks like we're going to have a pretty back and forth game based on how even the curve has been so far.
Yeah. We had a Amber Amethyst mirror last week as well to start. So here we're getting another one. Andy goes ahead and inks that Ursula Vanessa, a card we've seen teched into some of these lists. I have also been messing around with Amber Amethyst, and it's kind of fun to see the different versions because there's some of these cards I'm like, ooh, I don't run. Maybe I should run that as Dumbo comes down on Andy's side.
Not just any Dumbo, the beautiful enchanted,
The enchanted
Dumbo.
Dumbo. Dude, am I crazy? I actually like the art on the normal Dumbo better.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just like how
I
big
don't know
he
that
is.
you're
I like how much
crazy.
of the space he takes up.
I think they're both beautiful cards, so I totally get that. Is that an Ohana means family into the inkwell?
It is.
All right.
Perhaps thinking we're not going to be able to keep a lot of damage. And here we go. Speaking of damage, Big Louisa comes down, says, I'm going to find him. I'm going to flatten him. I'm ready to take on any kind of damage. This card is a 6/4, and it has the ability to, is it you pay 1 ink and you can shift damage onto her? I don't remember the exact
That's right. Yeah, it's 1 to move 1 damage, and then if she has 3 or more, you can then move that damage to an opposing character.
Here we go. Got up on the screen. Thank you, production. As Andy opting to not start, are we going to Dumbo first? Okay, first we're going to Dumbo trigger.
All right.
He's breaking
Love to
records.
see it. Always
Again.
draw first if you're going to draw.
Yeah. It potentially maybe was thinking Hades, but he tapped 2, so I was thinking, or exerted 2, potentially was looking for, yep, there's that Grandmother Willow. We go and follow up anyway.
Set
We're
it
gonna
back up, and another Willow comes down.
We could still play a 1 or 2 cost this turn, but it looks like we were quite out of gas for the moment.
Yeah, no surprise there. All right.
There's Isis. There goes Augustin, and I think it's going to be some daughter-father love as she just comes in and says, "Dad, that's for grounding me."
That's right. And now he can use the ability to then move that.
Put it all on Dumbo. Ooh, brutal! What a turn of events.
Really, really big turn there.
Isis Vanderchill showing, hey, if Elsa's not around, I'm just going to fill that role anyway. We have to have something in this deck to exert our opponent's characters. Looks like we do take back one of the quests from the Grandmother Willow, but we are still going to quest with the Tigger. And Steven that was a pretty brutal swing, so
for sure.
Andy, Demona doesn't really help here. You can't really challenge with these Willows. Maybe Hades would be okay.
You just need to start setting up big bodies again. Yeah, Hades could be okay, but they're probably gonna just say take the 2 cards since they have such a good board position. I wonder if like a Mrs. Incredible could help stabilize this board and make it a threat back on the other side. Something like that is what I'd be looking for.
Ooh, Gaston. That's a nice, easy way.
I wonder if it was a top deck, because if he had that last turn, I really think that would have probably been the play that I would have gone with. So probably just drew it, and that's really unfortunate because it really set up that blowout turn for him.
We did get Alonwi down as net well, so if we have a Criminal Mind or another Gaston, we are able to pop something else on the next turn. Andy did not ink that turn, notably, so if he is running Raging Storm, he's still at least 3 turns away from using it. But Steven has not inked, looks like for a turn or 2 as well, because Steven is still on 4 ink. But we have seen, right, not every deck runs that more high-end control-y aspect. Some of these decks, Mark, are just 100%. That mid-range. They top out at the Demona.
Yeah, especially nowadays, I'm seeing it. The large majority of them actually are more of this mid-range and not so much of the Raging Storm. But it is still out there and definitely a threat if you do see it.
Like the Shiva sisters from Final Fantasy, a double Isis came down and they just chilled that Alonwi, allowing the other one to go in and smack her. It was like its own very summon.
And I do like the choice to get the Alonwi there instead of the Gaston. I think that would be an easy threat. Most people would think, oh, I'm going to get that Gaston because it's costs more, it's the bigger body on the board, but the Alonwi actually sets up a lot more problems for you with the fact that it can push characters over 5 and it can just make these other characters potentially threatening. So I really like that choice.
There's Hades. Here is the Hades. Probably on either the Isis or the Tick. No, it actually goes for the Grandmother Willow. Interesting. I would have potentially thought you want to hit one of the bigger bodies, but maybe Andy's thinking Steven doesn't have a ton of ink, so he really is living off of that Willow. If I get rid of the Willow, there's no way he can do anything like a Demona next turn, right?
Yep. And you're also running a little bit of that math on if I pick the not so big threat, maybe they're willing to put that card to the bottom instead of making me draw 2.
Right.
Like, so there is some of that consideration as well. All right, we're trading out with the Tigger.
Andy actually hits the Tigger. I kind of wonder if the Isis. So if this damage sticks around on the Isis, the Tigger's a good
I
choice. But
completely
if like a Cheshire
agree
Cat
with
comes
you.
down, yeah, that would be my
You
concern.
get punished so quickly, especially with just 2 Willows being
and the
half your
Hades could
ward.
have still traded with the Tigger as well. So I would definitely be
In
scared
a
of
future
that.
turn.
Yeah,
He just played the Hades, but yeah, I get what you're saying. And
Tigger
just
comes
setting
back
up
and does
another
a
Tigger.
bounces right back to the hand.
I love that there's a playable Tigger. Tigger's
Right?
one of my all-time favorite characters in Disney, so
Yeah.
seeing him get played so often is really, really sweet.
Well, and he has definitely benefited from this rotation that you have lost so many of these blue decks, Blurple, Baja, that they played these high-cost characters. So a lot of time Tigger, he couldn't do anything to any of those decks. But since a lot of these decks now have this more low to the ground feel to them, he has way more targets to pick on.
Absolutely.
This tree just keeps
And we're
regrowing,
right
Mark, no
on
matter
deck.
how often you cut it down.
And there's a big one. Sven, unfortunately, doesn't trade without losing himself in that challenge. But I think this is the right decision.
Yeah.
Just stabilize the board. It's hard to see how many cards they're both on.
I think Andy has 2. Yeah, I
think
can't
they're
tell.
both pretty
Steven.
even here. Yeah, I'm gonna guess. Oh, and there's the counter Sven.
The counter Sven.
Hmm.
It is another unequal. So Andy is in a position he could drop Demona. Granted, Demona isn't very threatening when you just have 2 Willows there to like take advantage of the exertion. But if we just have to get our hand drawn back up, we can do that. And the Demona and these Willows will allow us to play, I would assume, basically any character in our deck, unless we're running some crazy 9/8 cost that I'm unaware of.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, I think if you're Steven side, now you're hoping to slam a Dumbo next turn and kind of get that engine off and racing with the Sven setup. Oh,
and yeah,
guess
Steven
he
just
probably
saying,
doesn't have it.
I don't want you to
Or
draw
he
cards.
might say,
yeah, or I want to force you into that Demona play. Like if you're going to draw, I'm drawing with you.
Yep. Hades is doing a great job of helping to keep him in the game. All right, so we just shortcutted a junior woodchuck's guidebook. Draw 2.
If anyone doesn't know that item for some reason, you pay 2 and then you spend 1 to exert it, banish it, draw 2 cards. So we just did a little shortcut. Tigger's going to go ahead and go on another quest. Hades can trade into this Tigger, but then our opponent just has 2 Willows. Not the greatest turn for Steven, but was able to reload the hand a little bit. Never terrible.
Yep.
Yeah, if I'm Andy, I absolutely trade this Tigger and then just, okay, I've got free open Willows. Granted, you could risk yourself to a Sven. There's the Demona.
Especially after the draw. I mean, I love the Demona here.
That was perfect.
Yeah,
Andy getting pure benefit from the draw. Steven got none.
And just like that, the tables kind of turned here, and Andy has the far more commanding board position. He's a little behind on lore, but plenty of time to catch up, especially with the Demona now questing for 2.
Also, I just want to note, Andy, my brother, how much money did you spend on these? Because you have got epic Willows, enchanted Demonas, enchanted Dumbos. Like Andy's deck is full rarity, baby.
Ooh,
you'll love to see it.
Interesting decision there. Hades targeted Demona, and he looks like instead of letting him draw 2, he chose to put it to the Inkwell.
Yeah. Mark, I don't think we've seen a draw 2 yet from this Hades. Like I think we've seen 3 deals, and every time they're like, "Yep, you got a deal. I'm out. See you, sir. I'll meet you in the underworld because I am not interested in giving you card draw." And the Black Cauldron. So this has to have maybe this doesn't have Raging Storm, but this clearly has a higher end where, and we know these decks don't have a way to interact with this item, this mirror. So Andy is going to start stockpiling. And oh, by the way, enchanted Black Cauldron as well.
Yeah, he's definitely got this thing blinged out, and it is beautiful to see.
Also works really well with these Willows, right? That now that Hades, you're not paying 5 for that. Right now, you could pay only 2 if you wanted to, if you use the ham as well.
Yeah. So Black Willow is going to let him just get constant value for the rest of this game because I'm not aware of any purple or yellow amber cards that have item removal or item hate. So
there's 1 or 2 that can like bounce
they exist,
again, but yeah, they can just replay it.
I don't. Not good enough to really see much play. So yeah, this thing is just gonna put in work throughout the game.
We finally
go ahead and draw 2.
Yeah, we finally reject the deal. 1 to activate the Cauldron, 2 cost reduction on Hades, so Hades comes down for 3, technically 4 if you count the Cauldron cost. And finally, we will reject that deal and say, nope, I will not take it. Go ahead and draw your 2, sir.
And I think it's really important to note that that is the almost guaranteed correct decision at this point in the game because that Black Cauldron exists. He's going to have infinite hand value from this point forward. So you might as well just let him draw 2. If his hand fills up, who cares? He's going to be able to pull from this graveyard also. So I think that is absolutely the right choice.
Not to mention Andy has great targets in the graveyard. Hades, Sven, Demona. Or no, I guess the Demona went to the bottom of the deck. Dumbo. I think Gaston might be in there. Like, yeah, we are not lacking for good targets. Finally going questing, saying, hey, I'm about to catch up on lore, so why don't you come attack me? And I don't care if you get rid of these cards. Like you said, they're all going to come back to life at some point. Steven is inking up, so I have a feeling we may have a Raging Storm in Steven's
I think you might be right. And the Demona might be digging for it. It looks like he went down to 0 cards there and got to draw 3.
Nice. Even a follow-up
book. He did not get to draw any because he was already at 3. So
do you take off the ham here, or do you just get rid of the 2 will? Okay, the 2 trees, the guaranteed. Say, I don't care about the ham reduction.
Makes good sense. Yeah. You got to exert to do that, and that slows down your questing. I think that's a totally reasonable challenge. And it also depends a little bit on what he drew. Like if he got a Louisa, maybe it makes a little bit more sense to keep 1 damage on a couple things instead. So
that is true. You can always throw it over later. Andy obviously has an easy trade, Hades to Hades, and Andy's Hades will stay alive. Looks like we are doing our cost reduction. 4. Is this going to be another Hades? That is
it's Louisa. Shiny Louisa.
Ooh, all enchanted.
So now he's gonna pick up some damage off of the Hades, and then he can use that to either put some on the Demona or get rid of the Sven, which I think is the correct call. So in these decks, you pretty much always want to finish off the characters because there is so much damage move potential. The risk is just too great to leave any damage sitting around. Go ahead.
Louisa takes the burden of the family, and then she's going to throw it over there and knock out the Sven, which is good because we didn't have a good way to challenge it. And another Hades gets loaded up into the cauldron, and this is looking very good for Andy right now. Unless Steven can find his own cauldron to match this, if he's even running it, I don't see how it's looking hard for Steven to come back from this.
I completely agree. This is really what you don't want to see in the mirror match is one person on the cauldron and one not. Because, you're just going to get a little bit outvalued over the course of the game. But maybe he runs into it. He could have it in his deck. I've seen it in quite a few lists these days. So there's always a chance we can claw this back.
She used to be Louisa Madrigal until she took an arrow to the knee.
That's right.
Gaston knocks out another one. Demona cleans up Hades. And Steven, again, he's still controlling the board really well. It's just he needs to get that lore before the inevitability of the cauldron takes over.
Yeah, really, really back and forth board states here, like you mentioned.
Are we gonna we could activate the cauldron. We could even do a cost reduction with ham, essentially refund the 1 ink that it would cost for the cauldron. We are exerting 1. Looks like we inked a Horseman Strikes. And there's the cauldron. I'm assuming, or no, we're actually gonna load it up some more. Not ready to bring out Hades. Who would we like to get? A lot of good options, as we mentioned earlier. Dumbo's good for just evasion, and that's what we're gonna go with.
Yeah, just a constant threat. It's like one of those cards that you answer or you lose.
Quest and an enchanted Raging Storm. And oh my god, bro, your deck is so blinged out. I love it.
It's incredible to see all of this beautiful art on display.
And there's our own Dumbo.
Really nice follow-up, but it doesn't look so great with the Hades sitting in that cauldron.
I don't think anyone's running many locations. I actually do run Ring of Stones in my version of this list, and it's a really nice follow-up for these big board wipe turns. It's nowhere near as good as like the castle or the library, but still it's especially when a lot of these characters don't have haste, and it would take him time to reload up the Sven. Obviously Steven didn't have anything like that, so we are going to do a Dumbo and pass back. 6.
Demona, draw 3.
Oh wow, empty-handed. Good. That's a good top deck, unless he was holding it and he drew the Augustin.
Yeah, that's true.
Besties forever. Pay 1, and I
Bestie's a
believe it's.
symbol.
Oh yeah, sorry. Bestie's a symbol. Thank you. And it's
You're
reveal,
good.
or you look at 4 and then reveal a character. Is that correct?
That is correct. Top 4 cards, reveal a character card among them, and then add it to your hand. So, Alonwi, either there weren't many great characters,
Yeah.
or he's probably got a Gaston to pair with this thing,
Yeah.
I would guess.
So we're going to put out the book. We can load up the cauldron one more time. One more time. And we're going to go ahead and grab Sven. Not a terrible answer here, especially with a Dumbo on the other side. Because surely that Dumbo is going to want to use its ability, and then you can just punish it right away. We do grab the Sven. And I didn't see how many Steven drew off of that Demone. It might have been 0. So we're going to use Dumbo. We're breaking records. Gain 1 lore. Get a card draw.
Drawing first.
Oh,
and
there's our
the
own
cauldron. So he is on it.
Andy was feeling good, and he saw this dark cloud creeping over Steven. He's like, what is that? Oh, it's our own cauldron. So both players running this more control-y version. To note, we have yet to see a raging storm on Steven's side as we load up our own cauldron with, was that Gaston? I can't quite tell what that was.
I couldn't quite see, but I do think it was in the brief moment that I saw it.
Gaston and easy.
Which makes perfect sense when Demona's sitting there. Yep.
Absolutely. Do we have anything else to follow up with? Yes, we do. There's Augustin as well. Which is pretty safe from basically anything on Andy's board. Hitting for 6 in 1 turn is going to be difficult without a Louisa sitting there.
Agreed. But there is that Hades threat sitting under the Black Cauldron still that could try and force his hand. Yeah, it is Gaston. There we go. Got revealed.
We will exert the Black Cauldron, pay 1 ink, and we can now revive anything under it as long as we pay the cost. Going to bring back the Hades, make a deal, presumably on Dumbo. And Steven, so this is a tricky situation, right? You know he has enough to revive the Sven. So do you let him draw the 2, and say, no, I'm going to force you to spend the ink on the Sven as well? Or do you just take it and say, but then now he doesn't get the cards, but now he doesn't have to spend the ink on the Sven? A tricky deal as well. 3 Horseman Strike says, hey, I'm getting rid of that Dumbo, and I don't have to use Sven.
And I get to see another card in the process.
And we can see now it was Gaston that Steven tucked into the cauldron. And now we spam the board. Andy going wide, which means Steven is this. If there was ever a time for that raging storm to come through, this was it. As Demona's going to quest for 2. And Mark, we are tied up 9-9 in our lore value.
Not so tied up on the board state. Definitely in Andy's favor. But let's see if we can get that raging storm, like you said, could completely reset this game.
Yeah. We do have 2 things loaded in the cauldron, but that would probably be our... Nope, not going to go for it. Instead, we're looking for a deal. Hades probably targeting Demona.
Yeah, got to get the lore pressure off of the board, and it's a big body. So the obvious threat, I agree.
Andy started to reach for the Demona, but then has, again, possibly in a similar situation you were describing earlier of like, well, my opponent has Cauldron, so how much does the card draw matter at this point? They can keep reviving stuff. Granted, 2 cards is something they could use immediately versus the Cauldron's going to take some time. And Andy does opt to get rid of the Demona, sends it packing to the bottom of the deck. And without that 2 lore, the board looks a lot slower as we get a second Augustin onto the field.
Yeah. And notably with the Gustons there, the Gaston can then remove anything that he needs to going forward. Just one thing, but that's very important as he tries to gain control of this board back.
And we load up. I think that's Hades.
Hard to see. I would have to think so.
The top of the card art makes me think it's Hades, but yeah, we couldn't really see it go in there.
I almost thought it was Willow based on the top of the card art, but it wouldn't make a ton of
sense. It is
Hades.
Okay, there we go.
It is the Hades.
Someone must have said like, hey, no one can see what that is. Mind showing it to us?
Perfect.
And are we going to quest with Augustin? Yes, you could be open to a punish from like a Louisa or the Alonwi pumping up the Hades. Or no, Augustin has 6 health, right?
He does have 6
Okay.
health.
So you would need some other addition. I'm granted you could pump up something like this, man, but
Hades could
besides,
still put 3 damage on it, and then Luisa's shift could
Yeah.
then finish it off. So opting to just save it for another day, which I think makes good sense here.
Augustin only quests for 1. Is there a card
Only
that
1.
quests for 2 that's like a Madrigal? Am I crazy? I'm imagining.
No,
Card.
you're not. There are
Okay.
definitely Madrigals that quest for 2.
Okay. Water break, reminder at home to stay hydrated and healthy as we're watching. So Andy can obviously just take a glory lead if we quest out. Could even play his own Raging Storm. You could argue I've got the bigger board. Opts to play Sven. Sven won't have a target to hit until
Refill the hand
Demona comes
again.
down. But this time Steven does draw 2 cards off of that as well. So I think they both drew 2.
I'm pretty sure Andy drew 3, but I could be wrong.
He might have, yeah. It's when I'm trying to watch, yeah, both draw at the same time. So Sven obviously can easily take out any of these. Or well, he can't take out a Gus. He needs the support from Elanwi.
Correct.
We could do that.
And
he could just take out the Hades. Yeah.
He'd have to use like. All right, so he's digging through the discard, looking to see what he wants to fill that Black Cauldron up with. Chooses the Hades again. Just a really constant removal threat. Makes perfect
2, 3,
sense.
4, 5, 6. Yeah, he's counting out the ink because we've paid 10 already, and then we'll need 1 for the cauldron. Looks like they're, and actually we're using the
cracks
book.
the book. Yep.
Did he put something under the cauldron? Or I think he just activated it.
He did.
Oh,
I thought he moved the Hades under it.
I thought he already had the Hades there. I thought he had 3 under it.
That was previously. I'm pretty confident.
Oh, okay.
Because he didn't play anything from under it, and he activated it. So I'm pretty sure he loaded it back up with Hades.
Elanwi is going to quest for 1. Go to 10 lore. We're going to bump up the Hades. It looks like Hades now strikes for 5. We'll take out his own doppelganger. Sven could take out an Augustin if it wants to team up with the Louisa, which actually does pretty decent on Steven's side. Get to remove 2 characters. I was almost going to say you need to hit the Raging Storm, but it's not as necessary now, especially if you can pop this to Mona with like Gaston, which is sitting right under the cauldron mark.
Yep, it's there. Ready to be used to great effect. And
Ohana means family. And those Madrigals, they love to heal.
3 cards. Ohana means family, if I remember correctly. Just says remove any amount of damage from a character and draw cards equal to that amount of damage. So
Correct.
Got 3 damage, and that means 3 cards.
And there's Gaston. This archer doesn't miss. Goes ahead and knocks out that gargoyle, sends her back to the Stone Age. She's actually
Simona's gotta get some knee armor.
Yeah, right. She's just getting shot all over the place. These heroes.
Yeah.
This has been very back and forth. This is one of the fun parts about a mirror. Yeah, they can be time-wise. These can be really difficult as far as fitting in best of 3 at a time. But man, like this has just been blow for blow. For sure. And now it's
so like back and forth. This has just been a crazy game to watch. And like you said, I'm certainly worried for these 2 players on time.
Yeah.
As this game, I don't think is going to finish anytime soon.
Yeah.
We still have 2 more. So we'll see what happens.
Steven did load an Isis Vanderchill into the cauldron. So we essentially have 3 forms of removal. Isis will exert a character. Gaston's going to delete one with 5 strength or more. Hades can offer the deal. And Andy's going to go in digging and digging. I'm assuming we're loading up the cauldron one more time. Andy's got some decent tools in there he could bring out. Although it's like you don't really want to blow a Hades on like an Augustin Madrigal, right? Like, yeah, that's kind of
ideally.
Not really.
Exactly.
Gaston's already
definitely
done his
more
job.
of a threat because he has a Gaston sitting underneath his cauldron, but it just doesn't quest for a ton. So like you said, it's just not it's this constant game of what's worth it to me. And it makes it so interesting in this mirror match.
We load up a Gaston into the cauldron. There's one sitting on both sides. Here comes a Dumbo from the hand. Going to follow it up with another Dumbo. Nope, our own Augustin Madrigal. We have a lot of support there between Elanwi and Augustin. Going to go ahead and quest for 1. Buff up, look like herself. And then we're going to crack our Junior Woodchuck guidebook to draw 2 cards.
Yeah, and I think now it's getting to that point where there's so many things to consider.
Yeah.
These types of things being a little out of order aren't surprising. Like we said earlier, typically you would want to draw any cards you're going to draw at the beginning of the turn to make the most informed decision.
Mhm.
Obviously, he chose to do it at the end of the turn there. I'm sure they're just going through a variety of thoughts at this
Yeah.
point on trying to manage. He's got what in the cauldron? I have this in the cauldron. What's in my discard? There's just so much to consider and get done in a timely manner.
Yeah. Steven's got a pretty easy line without seeing the hand of Augustin support Dumbo. You revive the other Gaston, pop the Dumbo. The Gaston on the field can easily take out Elanwi and stick around. Obviously, I don't know what else is in Steven's hand. That's going to take out two of the big threats on the board. Although the only thing is, again, Steven is still behind on lore. Like, he has to find a way to try to win this game at some point. And if you're just, again, doing this blow for blow, how are either
Right.
of you ever getting lore?
Answer this, and then everybody's just kind of spending the large majority of their turns answering the other person. And
Yeah.
it's gonna definitely make it hard to reach the 20 lore point if that's all we're able to achieve on our turns.
Yeah, there's the Cheshire Cat. We are activating the cauldron. Are we summoning from it, or are we loading it up? Looks like we might be doing my play. Yep, so we went ahead and
Yep.
supported. Here comes Gaston. Is going to go ahead, and he doesn't miss. Boom, pops the Dumbo. Elephants are quite large targets, unfortunately, for old
Yeah.
Dumbo there. So Gaston tracked him in the sky. Gaston on the board can easily clean up the Elanwi. Could go on a quest too if we value the lore more. And Steven's still with plenty of ink too to also play another threat from the hand. It looks like that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring down the Louisa.
And one thing I want to clarify for people that may not be familiar with the support tag. So this Augustin and the Elanwi have this support tag, and it says whenever this character quests, it's allowed to give its strength to another character on the board. It doesn't just have to be your character. So you can choose to give it to an opponent character, and by doing so, now it's over 5 strength, and that's what's allowing the Gaston to get it.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think Andy has 12 or 13 ink. If you have, so if you would need 13 to 8 for the Raging Storm, 1 for the Cauldron, and then 4 you could just get the Dumbo on the field, which is a really good neutral target to just get on the board. And Steven has a very big board, so this would be a really good turn to pull that off. I have a feeling if Andy had that, he probably would have just quested and popped it off, but might be thinking through all the options. Okay, probably not going to do it now that we're playing out the Willow.
Definitely not. But I would be very surprised if there's just one Raging Storm in this deck.
Yes.
I don't ever
very
really
strange.
see one. It's usually none or at least 2 or 3 in all of the lists that I've seen. So I do think Steven, I mean, like, it's that constant, you want to put enough on the board to make them do it, but you also need to just put enough on there to get to 20 lore at some point.
Yeah.
Because you're having to do so much challenging to deal with things. So really difficult spot.
Yeah, Steven opting to put the Madrigal on the bottom of the deck. The Luis was sniped by the Gaston. Andy has 4 cards in hand already, but Steven just saying, no, I don't want to make you draw anymore. Granted, I mean, Mark, a win condition of this match could be our opponent's decking out, like, as much as we're drawing and stalling.
Very possible that we are heading in that direction. Augustin took another trade there. So once again, you're seeing every turn. It's just this constant flip of board states where there's so many threats that can just deal with these cards.
Ooh, this will be
wonderful answer. Gaston will trade with Augustin almost assuredly, and then we'll obviously clean that up with the boost and get the Willow off the board as well.
Could even invite our own Hades back from the Cauldron, or we could load up with something like the Louisa or any other card. There's our cat boost. Steven has not dropped a Raging Storm. Okay, and finally, we were talking about that lore threat. Here comes Ursula Vanessa, says, well,
Huge
actually,
lore threat.
I can generate 3. Now, granted, Andy does have some answers, and that he's got a Sven there once it exerts, potentially if he's got Demona Isis himself to exert it, but we are going to boost.
Looks like we're going to load I think we're going to load the Cauldron up right now is what he's working on. So
I saw the second face down. Okay, that must be the hand.
Yeah, that's his hand.
Okay,
Yeah,
I thought maybe he was
trying to
boosting
find
the
a
Ursula.
nice place for it to go. I'm pretty sure, so that there was no confusion about what was what.
Yeah, you can see Andy's using that rules of villainy marker to denote where the hand is. So Steven without a marker is having find
And
a
it
way to
looks
do
like
that.
he loaded it with Sven.
I believe so. I think we have Sven, Isis, and
Yeah.
Hades ready to go in the cauldron. On Andy's side, we have Sven and Dumbo.
And we're back over to Auntie's side. So Ursula, for those that don't know, she quests for 2, which on his own is a pretty good amount of lore to just start getting. She's a 4/5 body, which means that she's pretty hard to remove. She can't just be targeted by Gaston. Some of the steel removal can't just easily get rid of her. And then she also has an effect that if you boost her for 2, she becomes evasive and she quests for an additional lore. So she'll start questing for 3, which be massive. Unfortunately, he did not choose to boost it, so it does not have evasive yet. And he throws an Isis, and
Cheshire?
that taps that Ursula down.
Yeah.
And there it is.
Is that Cheshire Cat okay? It looks like it's got like something written all over it.
That's a good question. Is that an...
Or maybe it's just the lighting. Yeah, it looks like there's like a drawing around it or
something. Yeah. It does look a little bit different than usual, but it could just be a play of the lights.
Yeah.
And another Isis, just to set up a 4/4 body. I don't think he can get the cat with it.
No, but just to get another body on the field.
Yep.
We boosted 2 damage off the Gaston to help finish off the Ursula Vanessa. We still have yet to see that Raging Storm from Steven, so this could be the turn to do it if...
Yeah, definitely starting to get to that point where the board state's just going to be a little much to overcome with the usual threats.
Yeah. Mark, we've only got about 25 minutes left, and I don't think we've seen a character quest for like 4 turns.
We have, because the Augustans have support.
Oh, yeah.
So we got 1 or 2 in there along the way, but not much.
Looks like we're trying to summon from the cauldron. Is Steven not seen a Raging Storm, or just doesn't want to use it? Maybe.
I think he's probably not on it.
Yeah,
it's
maybe.
possible he hasn't seen it.
Isis doesn't do a whole lot here, unless you just want to do a cat trade.
Yeah. Of note, I mean, it can be very punishing in these Black Cauldron style builds to add the Raging Storms, because there's just so many uninkables between Sven and Isis and the Black Cauldron. You really can kind of get your hand tied up if you hit some of these uninkables that you don't want to be messing with.
And Steven doing his best to invoke the Horned King and just saying, "My hour has arrived." Just all these characters are just pouring out of the cauldron right now. We even have room for the Sven still. Yeah, we can spend that 4 ink, get the Sven out, take out one of the Isis.
Yeah. I can't tell if the Sven is still under or if he played it.
I would assume it's still under because it's lined up with it, but yeah, it's always a little hard to tell when you have limited webcam space.
Yep.
So we are going to boost.
So we do a little challenge, a little boost.
Which, if the Sven comes out, there's no need for that, right? The Sven could have done it. So maybe we just wanted to boost just to heal up the damage. Yeah, looks like that's what we wanted to do. This way, if the Isis trades into the Cheshire Cat, of course, we can always use the other Isis, but...
Besties assemble yet again. I mean, this is a really, really strong card in this deck because there are so many good high-end cards, and that Besties assembles just kind of let you find what you need when you need it.
Yeah.
Alternatively to the Cauldron letting you do that. So love that addition in the deck. And here comes Hades. He's asking, what do you want me to put under? Because I'm not letting you draw 2.
Yeah.
But like you mentioned, I don't know how many cards are left. I mean, it looks like a pretty good amount of deck left,
right?
But I'd start wondering if I'm not going, you know what, draw 2.
Because Andy's discard pile is massive over there. But
and a Mrs. Incredible hits the build board. I mentioned that card earlier. It's a really strong body, a 5/6 stat line, but it also add some utility to the deck in that you have 2 options at the start of your turn. You can either choose to make her evasive until the start of your next turn, or she can quest for 2. So if you need lore pressure, she can give you that. If you need to answer evasives or just let her quest without being attacked back, she can do that too.
We did finally see a quest, that lore total change. Andy was able to quest with the Isis going up to 12. We're seeing another cat come in, and we're going to clean up both Isis Vanderchill. And yeah, I'm kind of starting to think you're right, Mark. Like, Steven has had so many prime opportunities for a Raging Storm that I wonder if we're even on the card, or we've just had absurdly bad luck and haven't seen it once.
It's certainly possible. God knows. We've all been there
Yeah.
more than a few times where there's a 1 or a 2 of in your deck and it's in the bottom 5 cards.
Yeah.
Oh, it feels brutal. All right, we went to the discard to fill the Black Cauldron back up, and we got Gaston. An obvious answer to Mrs. Incredible, which is going to be needed if we can't establish, like a board wipe, like you said.
Yeah. Andy's got plenty in the cauldron as well. Selecting the effect for Mrs. Incredible. I would imagine we're picking 2 lore. I can't see much reason to choose evasive in this situation, unless you're just really worried. But I mean, why would you be afraid of the cat? So
yeah, you just got to get to the finish line at this point in the game.
And especially, it's very likely we're not going to have time to finish game 2. So who wins this game 1 will be very important.
All right, let's go get some stuff from underneath the Black Cauldron. Chooses the Hades to start with. And he's saying, nope, you're not going to get 2 more cards.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and send those 3 back into the bottom. And maybe that's why Steven isn't decked out yet, because he's sending so many cards to the bottom. We finally got a lore, and we quest up to 14 from 12. So that must mean that she was evasive. Did we use the Dumbo trigger on Mrs. Incredible?
I guess he must have chosen to. I don't know if he's worried about like a Sven plus something else. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I don't know. So here comes Gaston. We'll go ahead and pop that. Sven could take Hades as well, which is what Steven is opting to do. Steven just living off the cauldron, but there is this downside to the cauldron where, it takes time to stock it up. So when you've exhausted it like this, you're going to need multiple turns to get it back and going.
100%. And that's where a card, as we've mentioned a couple times, like Raging Storm, can absolutely be critical in helping you do that. So, all right, we're making records. Gonna draw off that Dumbo.
And Andy, without even knowing what's in the hand, has a really easy play here of use the cauldron, bring out Demona into Sven. Sven easily takes care of your Dumbo. Granted, I don't know what probably might not want to give Steven cards in hand, so potentially afraid of that. And Andy is in the lore lead too, so may feel zero pressure to do that. Like, why? I'll just quest you. You're the one who has to answer me.
Yeah, he's got 2 in hand. I think if I'm Andy, I'm bringing everything out. I'm doing exactly what you said. But
there's Demona. Steven will draw 2. I believe Andy drew 2 as well. And I feel like there's not much reason to not just. I mean, at this point, I'm starting to think my opponent doesn't have Raging Storm. What are you going to do about all this?
Right.
Sven takes out the Dumbo. Both cauldrons, Mark, have just been tipped over. Their contents spilling out all over the floor. There's nothing left inside.
Nope. And now, if Steven hits the Raging Storm.
Yes.
Oh, boy. Now would be the time. If there was ever a time.
There was a time.
Massively useful. Well,
nope,
he must not have it.
He just has to not run it. Like, the odds of not seeing a single copy at this point.
So there's another counter. Perfect. So now he's gonna force things the other way, and he'll get to draw 2. It looked like.
I believe so. Something to note: we didn't have to use the Gaston.
That's exactly what I was
right. It would have
say.
frozen from the stone by day. So
yeah, but if he had another target for Gaston, I don't think the Illumineer was ready or dry. Because if it was, then I think the far superior play would have been getting that Dumbo off of the board and.
Yeah, Andy can go all the way up to 19
the Demona
this turn.
Stuck, like you said.
Yeah. All these cards can't. Or was the Gaston already in play? Okay, so the Gaston can take out the Willow at least.
Was correct. And the rest of those were not.
Andy can easily go to 18 this turn.
18. Yeah, gonna use Dumbo's ability to exert and draw 1. And gain a lore, notably.
Up to 18. Goat bounce goat for for win. No, I'm living in the past.
Oh, I think he's gonna
Raging
play.
Storm, yeah.
Oh, and now can he fill the board to get him to 20? That's what I want to see. Can he reestablish enough to
Just
get him
two
to
characters.
20? 1 and
There you go.
2.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Saying, doesn't matter. You have to answer this, and I still have enough
And
left over to load up.
putting one under this. Yep.
And Steven just has a Sven. That's not going to help him. Steven has to find some other way to.
Nope. Get an exert down. At least one thing has to get exerted here.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, I mean, the rest of the removal just isn't going to be good enough.
And the players will probably.
He could do like a Hades, but he's just going to say, draw 2.
Yeah.
I win.
You need some guaranteed removal. Like a Demona into Sven would work. But
right. Isis into Sven.
Well, there's that Hades.
Yep.
And he's going to go ahead and say, draw 2. Deal with it.
It's almost as if I knew it would happen.
Right?
Willed it into existence.
He summoned it into existence. A reminder, Steven did go first in this matchup.
Tigger
is going to
that
come
does
down.
answer. Okay. Forgot
Bam.
about
Uppercuts
the
Louisa
old
right back to the
Tigger.
hand. Yeah. Steven did go first
Buys
in this
himself a
matchup,
turn.
but we saw the importance, right, of Andy getting his cauldron down first and all the value he was able to get out of it. There's
And
Isis
Raging
Manor
Storm.
Chill. Yeah.
He's
yeah,
Raging
right?
Storm twice, which is 2 just real deal breakers in the mirror. I think Andy's deck definitely seems to be slightly favored in the mirror overall, just because it does have those high-end control cards that we're looking for.
Yeah. Well, that's why when I saw the cauldron on Steven's side, I just assumed the storm, it just seems odd you would play a high-end card like that. And that card works well with the storm because, again, if Steven has it, has not drawn it. They are all tucked at the bottom of the deck.
It's still possible. They're close to a full 60 card mirror here, other than I think 2 storms. And we've seen just about every card from both players, Finn's, Ohana's, everything but the Raging Storm.
And Andy just going all in, saying, yeah, you can Demona me. You can't challenge these evasives. You can't answer all these. Steven, if you have Raging Storm in your deck, now is the time to summon it.
Oh, let's find out.
Yeah. I mean, you need, all right. So we're going to just cast. Okay.
Wants to find it, maybe.
No way. Can he survive this turn? Can he answer all 4 of these characters? We ink. We tap the cauldron. I'm assuming we're summoning. Gonna summon Demona. I mean, Sven can take care of the other Dumbo.
Yeah.
Tigger can take care of Gaston. Isis can take care of.
He can get it all right here.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Steven is fighting for his life. Who needs Raging Storm, Mark? Why do that when you could just summon everything?
Overrated.
Existence? So Hades takes out Louisa. A Tigger takes out.
This game is insane. I don't think
Isis.
I've seen a more. I mean, these players
Isis
are
and
both
Gaston.
playing.
Oh, Isis into Gaston would leave it alive, and then okay. So
Tigger
Tigger into that.
Small
Isis into
take back.
Gaston. There you go.
Perfect.
Hades into Louisa. I mean, hats off to Steven. That was very impressive. But Andy has 3 cards in hand. Is going to just again say you have to answer
Refill
every
the board
single
again,
thing.
right?
How many times can you do that? That was a great play by Steven, saying I don't need no Raging Storm. I didn't hear no bell.
Stops the Demona and puts Lethal back on the board.
Yeah. And there's nothing in the cauldron at this point, so it's off the top of your deck or nothing. The Horn King, he's looking over at the Horn King. He's just pointing at an empty cauldron, like, "What do you want me to do? There's nothing in here."
And there's another Demona.
Actually, gives Steven 2 cards to draw. That potentially could backfire. We'll find out.
Gives him more answer chances.
Bounces the Willow. Says, "I want you to have as little ink as possible."
I think that ship has sailed a little bit.
Yeah.
But it does help. Yeah, it's probably the best choice of the 2 things he could have gotten off the board. I agree.
Can Steven survive one more time?
And I was just going to say, this might be the longest game I've ever seen where both players are playing at a very reasonable
it's not like
pace.
anyone's just
I
sitting
don't
here
think
doing nothing for
anybody's-
turns.
Yeah. No, they've been really trying.
That's
to go back
it.
and forth.
The final concession. Steven just
ran
must
out of
not run.
answers.
Yeah. Finally, he tried. It was a heck of an effort, but Andy was just able to outgrind him. And folks, we were almost at the 12-minute mark. I do not think we're gonna finish a game 2, but I guess you never know.
Yeah, sometimes if you find your curve and they don't, you can kind of just run away and steamroll a game. So there's always a chance if you get like that perfect something like into a Tigger, bounce their 2-drop ramp off, and then you can just keep hammering with the high questers. There's a chance.
Yeah. So Andy takes a very crucial game 1. Again, likely won't get through a game 2 unless that scenario you just described happened. Steven tried it, man. At this point, it looks like we'll be interviewing Andy afterwards, but I would love to ask Steven, like, hey, do you run Raging Storm? Like,
right,
because we were just waiting, and surely it wasn't that awful luck that you didn't see a single copy.
Right. Yeah, I am looking forward to looking at these two after the games are finished to see if their lists are different and how much different they are. It's just like, what 2 cards were you running?
Yeah, because we saw Ursula in both. We've seen Luisa in both. Like, they seemed pretty similar. And then at first I thought, oh, Andrew's on the Cauldron version, but then we saw Steven had the Cauldron as well. So,
all right, a pretty quick shuffle and reset. Happy to see that after such a long game. It looks like both players are interested in trying to get this game 2 done if they can.
Mark, are you aware of rules as far as what happens when we go to time?
You mean as far as turns?
Yeah. So essentially each player will get 3 turns, right? And then since only one match was played to completion, assuming this match does not finish, then the victory should go to the person who won round 1. So in which this case would be Andy.
Correct. Yeah. In Lorcana, the rules aren't like whoever had the most lore at the end of those 3 turns, you have to win the game outright as well. So it has to be fully completed. And then, if they're both tied, if Steven is able to squeak it out and they're both tied, then game 3 won't even start and it'll just be a draw.
Yep. Absolutely. Lightning from Final Fantasy there trying to help Steven out, but just it wasn't enough. I mean, he held on long. There were so many turns I thought he's done, he's cooked, and somehow kept surviving, which was pretty impressive in its own right.
And like, I'll often tell some of the players on my team when they're in these kinds of mirror matches, like, hey, if there's a certain point in the game where you feel like it's just not going your way and you're going to have to get through 3 games to win, just scoop it up and get out of there. But there was no point in either of those games on either side where I felt like either of those players needed to make that decision. Like, it was just so back and forth.
Yeah. Well, the tricky part for Steven was that, and this is kind of a thing with Lorcana in general, is that he was doing such a great job of answering Andy's threats, but he had no time to quest for his own lore. That's why in some of those old builds, you would see those locations, right? That location sits there and generates the lore for you while you use your characters to address their board. So
100%. Oh boy, starting out with the exact mirror. Notably, they both inked a ham, which means that they almost certainly both have turn 2 ramp of some sort that could either be Ham or the Grandmother Willow. So it looks like we might be in a very similar state to last game where both people have kind of a reasonable curve and what they want, and we saw how that went. Let's see if this one goes any differently.
Do we trade a Lonwies? We could. Steven made the offer. Say, hey, go ahead. If you want to trade into it, I'll leave it here for you.
Yeah. I think if I'm on the draw here, I would take that trade unless I'm really loaded up on like Gasons. If I had 2 Gasons in my hand, maybe you don't take the trade, but otherwise
I used to do that all the time in Ruby Amethyst when they drop like a Chernobog and expose it, and I was like, yeah, I'll run mine. Like, I have more cards than you because I got to go second. Like, I'll cut off your card draw. I don't mind.
Absolutely. Yep.
So there's Isis, and actually, so potentially bit him in the butt, right? Because
for sure it did.
Yeah.
It completely changed. I mean, who knows, if Steven would have gone with a different line, but that's a very punishing line that Steven was able to do. So this is kind of what I was talking about, where if Steven's able to turn off that ramp, disrupt Andy's ability to get going, because really the only 3-drop that this deck runs is Cheshire Cat that I can think of, and if you're missing that, then you're kind of just sitting here, and now there's the Ursula. All right, this is kind of the game plan I was talking about, where you just get off to the races.
Yeah.
Let's see if he's able to get it done.
Andy now is probably going to want to reserve that Elanwi for the next turn so we can drop the Gaston and potentially take the Ursula out. Tigger gives it a pops ham back to Tigger hit a big headline. Tiger punches large slab of ham back to owner's hand.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you nailed it on the head. If he can't answer this Ursula efficiently in the next turn or two, either with the headless
Horseman Strikes, or the Gaston,
or a Gaston, this game could be over very quickly.
Yeah, we put out Louisa.
I guess
a
Sven even could trade into it too. So
yeah,
there's
Sven
multiple answers.
Andy has plenty of answers, so if he doesn't have one in hand, Steven might actually have a chance to win this game and take it to game 3.
And Steven developing much earlier this time, that Black Cauldron. We saw how much that helped Andy in the last game. Steven says, my turn. Well, there's
so
the Horseman Strike, so he's got something. No way you can leave that Ursula sitting there.
And a Hades underneath.
Business.
Pretty decent card to lose on Steven's side. Tigger's going to trade into the Isis Vanderchill, and now we just have a lonely Louisa Madrigal. And suddenly, this board does not look nearly as threatening.
No doubt.
Hades asks for a heal. Presumably Gaston. You could target Elanwi here to prevent future Gastons. I actually wonder if that would have been the right choice. You kind of talked about it in the last game, Mark, right? Oh, well, you can just challenge Elanwi. Never mind. Sorry. I forgot about the
Louisa. He can deal with it no matter what, but I do still wonder if it wouldn't just be, I mean, they're up against the clock, unfortunately. Because I was thinking I might just do a more conservative play and just start loading the Black Cauldron up, because getting the Gaston off the board doesn't do a ton. It's not the biggest threat after it's done. It's on play effect, but I think he's it's just saying, I need to keep you off the board so that I can get my questing in and get to the finish line before we run out of time.
Black Cauldron saying, doesn't matter that I lost this card to boost. I'm going to put the Essence of Hades back into the Cauldron. And is this a Demona turn? Nope. Hades is going to make our own deal. Probably on other Hades, or maybe even Dumbo.
No, it's got to be Dumbo, right? Hades
you want to cut off that draw.
With. It's got to be Dumbo.
And Steven's saying, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll draw. Exactly. And I think that's the right decision with a card like Dumbo, where you're going to get draw off of it to equal their draw. And it stays evasive and questing. It's doing everything you need it to do. So go ahead and take your 2 cards.
Yeah. There we do see.
Is that a symbol? Louisa? Is getting the enchanted Louisa. Yep. Pretty decent threat. Did he choose to ink the Louisa? Or is he just revealing that he...
I guess he inked it? I thought he had already inked for turn, but I could have missed that. Okay.
No,
I guess we inked it.
Okay. I was going to say, I don't hate the keeping Louisa, because then it checks them. You know, if he goes with Hades next turn, now Isis trades into that, and then you can hit the Dumbo with the Louisa ability. Now he can't do that. So...
Sven is
unless he just gets rid of the Isis anyway. But even then, I mean, Hades could trade into Hades and get the Dumbo. Like the Dumbo is pretty valuable, but maybe he has another Louisa in hand already.
Yeah,
and he's trying to bait that kind of a play.
Loads up the Isis. I almost wonder if you just have to load the Ursula, because again, if you have any hope of winning this game, I think you're going to need that lore.
Oh, I completely agree. I'm answering your board, you're answering my board thing's not going to get where you want to be in the next 3 minutes, unfortunately.
Exactly.
Like
you mentioned, if you had more time.
You do get some turns, but not a ton of them. All right, and there's our Black Cauldron answer. And I mean, from Andy's point of view, it makes perfect sense, because Andy's saying, I already have 1 game in the bag. I don't care if I lose. I don't win this game.
I don't need to win. I just have to keep you from winning. Yeah,
exactly. And I get the W for the team here.
There's Dumbo. We do need to exert winning for that. There we go. Steven almost halfway there, but again, with Andy's own Black Cauldron, we're going to see the Raging Storm.
There's another Ursula. And we're going to load up with going for the Sven.
For the Fen.
I really think the Ursula is the correct choice in this particular state of game.
Yeah, if you had all the time in the world, sure, it makes more sense to go for the others, but you're playing the clock at this point. So this is a really good turn for Andy to Raging Storm as well. Take off the Dumbo and those massive lore threats. Actually, we're just going to Demona.
Draw 3. That's
Expose
also
the
pretty
Ursula.
good.
If we had
I
made it
wonder what
evasive, we
you
actually would have
choose to do
protected it. But
here.
granted, if we run Isis and Hades into the Ursula, at least you're taking 2 cards off your opponent's field. But
Right. I think the Ursula is just too good to not get.
yeah,
Yeah. 3 lore on 1 quest is just too much.
yeah. Well, and again, imagine if you had another one that you could jam out this turn. You're just saying, okay, answer it.
I know.
Answer it. Like, what
I
are you going to do
know.
about it?
I completely agree.
We're under the 2-minute mark. Go ahead and ink a Horseman Strikes. Dumbo can obviously keep slowly crawling our way towards that victory, which we're going to use now. Dumbo continue to breaks records. What a very good flying elephant. I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. As we drop a Willow.
He's a good boy.
He is. Notably, Andy doesn't have a lot of cards in hand, so we might just be trying to bait out a Raging Storm. Andy would need to reload with Demona.
Yep.
Speaking of Demona.
So Andy gets to draw 2. Steven gets to draw a couple as well. Maybe 3. Not entirely sure how many he had. And now, what's he going to get?
I think you pick off Illumineer. I don't think you care about the
I agree.
Willow discount.
Nope. And we're wrong.
Yeah.
We're wrong.
Says, no, I do care about that discount. That Demona will stay exerted due to the Stone by Day trigger.
Yep. And they caught it
It's
quickly.
like they hear it. Yeah, it's like that's what we're channeling to them. There's less than a minute to go, though, so we are almost ready to go into turns.
Yep.
There's a Horseman Strikes. Goodbye to Dumbo.
But he did his job. He did... What did he draw 2 or 3 times?
I think so. Yeah, Dumbo did plenty. Again, if we had more time, Steven would actually be in a really good position in this game. But
for sure.
We saw the Cauldron much earlier. Yeah,
it is the enemy right now for our hero Steven.
And Andy actually drew 3 cards, so Andy's Demona will stay exerted next turn.
Unless he can do something else.
Yeah.
Once again, he inked, so he gets it off. Yep, there we go. He was able to ink one of his cards still, so the Demona will ready.
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't realize he hadn't inked already. All right, so according to us, we are in time. Granted, their time may be a hair different than ours, but I would assume it's relatively accurate. Here comes Gaston. Gaston will get rid of that Demona for good. Steven could quest for 4 here, go all the way up to 14. And again, Andy doesn't have a whole lot of challenging power on the board.
No,
even with the support,
really.
Which you could pick off with the Hades anyway. Oh, even better. Why do that with Hades when you can just wait, are we challenging?
Damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna move it over
to
the
Willow. He's gonna move it over. Yep.
Well, I say without challenging, he could have just moved the 1 over to the Illumineer, and then we would have gotten an extra lore out of it.
Yeah.
Steven just praying Andy does not have Raging Storm
2,
here.
3, 4, 5, 6. So he's got 6 lore on board. So he's still gonna need 2 turns minimum to get to 20 lore. And yeah, like you said, a Raging Storm would actually be just backbreaking for Steven.
Not gonna see that.
Didn't do it this turn, so I mean, it could be a bait. Like I know I can keep you off, and maybe he's still just sitting on it. Nope. And there's a Sven, so we just keep playing the game of slow you down as we get through these turns here. And just like that, we went from 6 lore next turn to only 2 lore next turn.
Again, I actually quite like Steven's position, just we don't have the time for it. This might be our second turn on Steven's side. I don't see any visual markers anywhere on the screen, so I'm assuming this will be Steven's second turn, which I don't know how you possibly get to.
Not without the Ursulas.
Yeah, that's what you need.
You need them there, and you need them to stick.
Because if you could have revived her this turn, in theory, you've got, granted, Andy has so much removal loaded up over there under the Cauldron, but like you said, we're
But
just
he only has so much ink. Like, he's
yes.
got to put a couple things together here, unless he just has the big, raging storm, and then it
Mhm.
is what it is. They have the answer.
Steven offers the deal, says, "Would you like to remove Gaston?" Andy says, "No problem. I don't want you drawing anymore."
Yep. That's the worst thing for me is you putting a bunch of stuff on the board.
Yeah.
So get a couple lore in. And we pass it back over.
Yeah. If we had moved the Cheshire damage from the Hades last turn to just the Elan, we left the Willow, we would be looking at 16, potentially lethal. Grant, again, Andy has the Smen. He can easily take out one of these characters, so maybe that wouldn't have mattered. But I'm just trying to, like, find every little lore possible.
Totally understand.
I'm going to
Gonna
revive.
do a little cauldron digging here.
We'll exert the Willow. And the Sven can easily pick off the Willow and live to tell the tale, but so can Louisa, and Sven can take care of one of the bigger cards.
Presumably the cat. And
Yep.
it is. Just a little baby Louisa under there. Nothing too important.
Andy adds a nice slab of ham onto the table as well, just in case.
Yeah.
And Steven can get to 17, but unless we've got Goat Bounce Goat somewhere hidden in this deck, I don't think that's going to be enough.
Double gathering knowledge and wisdom.
Yeah, right,
Here we
right.
go.
The surprise aggro. That was the ending when we were running over the... Yeah.
Out of time, out of turns. Could not quite finish it off, unfortunately, for Steven. But
congrats to Rules of Villainy
games.
and the St. Louis team.
Congrats.
As we go ahead, as Andy's going to take that first one. Unfortunate for Steven. Would have been interesting to see what happened had that gone to game 3, but of course we'd be here till tomorrow morning if that happens. So maybe it's an okay thing that it ended when it did, Mark.
Yep, for sure.
Excellent.
We could have been here for another 2 hours.
Yeah, right.
But man, those were enjoyable games to watch.
It was back. It was again. It was
those.
nice. It was just haymaker after. Neither player really had a dead turn where they're just like,
Nope.
ink pass. I can't do anything.
Exactly.
That's one of the benefits of the mirror. Right?
Those are the painful games to watch. Is when one person just basically doesn't even get to play.
Yeah,
I felt like both of those people really had a chance to show what they can do, making good decisions on both sides throughout the games, and just couldn't quite get it done in the mirror. Like I mentioned, I do think the Rules of Villainy deck was slightly teched to win that mirror. So unfortunate for Ink and Lore to not have the Raging Storm to really counter it completely.
All right. Yes, I don't know if we'll actually have time for an interview because I know that one ran super long. We might just be jumping right into the next match.
Very fair.
Yeah, most likely no interview, but Andy, if you're listening, hey, congrats. Good job for bringing it home for the STL team. And Steven, sorry, better luck next time. Steven, run those Raging Storms if you're not. Like, God, that could have made such a difference.
Yeah. But maybe they do, like I said, they hurt you in other matchups. So I totally understand why they're not an auto include.
You can't brick on them early, Mark, if you don't put them in your deck. That's how you avoid
that. That's exactly right.
I will say I'm 1 for 3 on my predictions so far. So let's keep going.
Very nice. Did you see any of the other matches?
I just watched this match.
Excellent. What did you think of it?
It was a good one.
I thought it was very long mirror.
Yes.
That is the best way to say it. It was a very long mirror.
Yeah. It was very long. Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't the one playing it because I was feeling exhausted just watching it and comments. So like having to make those decisions and you're going through all that in your head, like, whoo. And that's just day one. Imagine if that was your day one at a DLC.
It wasn't D23 top cut level where we had 6 Demonas on the board at the same time,
right?
Or whatever it was, but it was getting there.
Yeah, there were a lot, especially with the Cauldron being able to get them back.
Yeah,
it was a lot.
Yeah, the Cauldron makes it very, very grindy. I mean, and you can just see the popularity of the Amber Amethyst. We saw it, first 2, or it was in the mirror last time too.
It's been insanely popular. Yeah. I mean, was
It's
the
very
second
consistent,
most
right?
exactly. I think a lot of competitive players, which we're dealing with here, or the high competitive players, just really want to feel like they have control and agency throughout the game, and it gives you that. You have answer cards all throughout the deck, and that's what a lot of these players want, is they want to be able to see threats and try and figure out a way to navigate through them. Other decks are a lot more straightforward, and if you hit your line, you win, and if you don't, you lose.
Yeah.
This deck allows you to really kind of navigate a little bit more than some, and I think that's why it appeals so much to so many players.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And with rotation, the first set after rotation, we always have the least amount of cards to play with. So I think it was one
Very
of
true.
the casters last week who said, well, here's what's left. Or maybe it was the guy playing Baja. I was like, well, I had to find what was left. It's like, all right, here's what's left. And I've kind of noticed that too. Also playing Amber Amethyst is Isis is like, all right, well, I don't have Elsa. So here's Isis. She's just going to fill that void that Elsa left.
Yeah. Yeah, I've even seen people play with and try to test the Ursula 5-drop that has the Elsa effect
Oh,
as
yeah,
well,
yeah.
that forces
song,
exert
yeah.
with the song. Yep. People, yeah, it's a super important effect. It lets you recontrol the board.
Yeah,
So you have to have effects like that.
Yeah. In a game where you can't challenge ready characters, you have to have some way to interact with their characters or the board or something of that nature.
You can challenge great characters if you run steel.
You run very specific steel cards.
If you run like 5 cards,
there's a couple of them. I think there's some Ruby cards that let you do it too under certain conditions as well. But yeah, it's a pretty niche for sure.
Does Ruby have that? I thought all the Ruby ones were like Ruby steel. Is there like a standalone Ruby card that lets you do that?
I thought there was that one with the Maui combo that.
Well, you still need to have like one last hope for that, the challenge ready character.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So that's it for me. I'm gonna pass it back over to Mike and Rose. Thank you so much for your time. I had a pleasure casting with you, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the game. Take care, everybody.
Appreciate you, Mark. Take care, buddy. It was fun to do it with you. Switching over to Mikey as we are going into game 2, Rules of Villainy. Kirsten on the left, and we got Aaron P on the right. Mike, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm never forgiving Luke for starting this by calling him Mikey.
It's Mike alone. Well, I will try to amend that.
Oh no, you can do it. Actually, he can change it on stream right now if he wants to for the night. I'm fine with it. I'll get him back at one day. Don't worry.
Should it be like -y ? Like Mike?
Oh my God. That would actually be amazing. All right, so it looks like we got Kristen. Kristen, wow, I even said this right before stream. Kirsten and Aaron.
There's a member on that team who is Kristen, so I'm like, wait, Kristen, which I don't remember who's who.
It's funny. I know Kirsten because we got her not this play mat, but her iconic Mickey and Minnie mat.
Oh, nice.
My wife and I were at Disney for release during that set, so that's why I'm cheering for her.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to see a non-yellow purple deck, just being selfish because I've seen 2 of them and I saw 2 of them last week, so would love to see something else. It was really fun to see the Baja.
I'm sorry. No, this is great. I'm just laughing because Luke is having fun with the name now. This is the second time he's changed it. Luke, here was Katie's idea. She said I should be Mike on the mic.
Ooh, Mike on a mic,
which actually is pretty good. And I need to give Katie credit for that. If I changed
Mike on a mic.
Oh my God, he's running with it. Yes.
Fantastic. Great when you have a production team that can just edit stuff on the fly. All right, folks, we're here with Mike, the Mikey, the Mikester, the Mike on a mic.
My other nickname is Mycicle because a bike is a bicycle.
I like that.
All right, so what are we betting here? Because we know we're not getting any more Yurple. Are we about to have an Amber, Emerald, Eleanor mirror match fight?
Gosh, I would love to see something else, but given knowing what the meta is and these players are probably trying to win, we're probably going to see one of those, maybe
Emerald Steel.
Yeah, I would love to see robots personally because I think that deck's pretty fun, but I don't know if anyone's running that. So,
the green steel bots is kind of really good.
Oh, I haven't seen the green steel. I've only seen the purple version. What's the green one? Like, what's the big difference there?
It's just running the Emerald package.
Oh, okay.
That's the big difference. It came up it actually came up to CCS. R&B was running it.
Oh,
it looked awesome. It looks great. It looks very powerful because like the Emerald Eleanor package with like Evixies and Tots and stuff is still great.
Nice.
It's just you just throw it with you still have Raging Fire. You just get bots now.
We might be seeing some singers. We actually ink one angel for another on Kirsten. So potentially either seeing Emerald Amber Circle of Life, or could be Amber Steel Singers. Steel Song, I guess, is the old title of that one.
It could be Steel Song. I missed what Aaron inked because we were talking, enjoying ourselves. Shame on me.
Looks like
Oh
that's
no.
Lyle.
Is that Lyle?
Ooh, is this Retro Evolution Device?
If this is red, this is going to be a really tough match for Kirsten, even if she's on Steel Song or the Emerald Amber Circle of Life deck. Is going to be really hard for her because of how controlly that deck can get,
Yeah,
and how much it can just draw cards with the Hades.
yeah, absolutely. Granted, that deck does tend to take a minute to get online, so if Kirsten can go fast enough. Granted, Steel Song not really known for questing for a lot of lore, at least not recently. Back in the day when it had like the Smee and the Lilos, it went pretty fast. But
now there goes the Stitch though, so we are officially questing.
right.
And Kirsten is saying she's not dealing with Lyle. She wants Lyle gone.
Yeah,
And that's really smart because that Lyle, that lore drain doesn't seem like a big deal early game, but if you let him stick around, all of a sudden
yes,
you're losing lore every turn. And he also can strike a good match.
mm-hmm. Absolutely. Lenny's going to come down, take a peek at the hand. Kirsten potentially anticipating that as well, saying, if a Lenny comes to get me, do we have a good... Hey, no, it's all characters, Lenny. So Lenny can get a nice little look with his binoculars, but he's not stealing anything.
Kirsten's in a great spot here too, because her next turn is going to be I draw off of a Fleetly, or I get to pick what I draw off of a Maylin.
Absolutely.
And we haven't seen another Maylin get inked or played or anything yet. So she's probably going Maylin. And even if she misses a song, she's got a chance of just getting another red panda.
And
it's another red panda.
We're going to do it again next turn. We'll do it again. This Lenny, of course, has 0 attack power. So Kirsten pretty free to just quest in front of it. This deck is far away from any potential rush characters unless Aaron's got a few surprises for us, but
there's not much rush available to Aaron here. He could run the Sven, but Sven, if Aaron is on the Retro Evolution Device build, which I'm making a very big assumption off of seeing that Lyle, but if he is running that, that is a very interesting choice. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused by playing Malicious Mean Scary. Okay, so he is running it.
So we could have the Sven. Yeah, a Sing of the Malicious Mean Scary. It does keep your Lenny protected. Potentially just maybe Aaron realizing I'm probably not going to hit most of these characters. So now I've just got at least 3 characters that'll get banished to a Phillip eventually. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know if I love that play or not. Maybe worry about a Mowgli.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he was trying to sing that and maybe draw second for removal, but I don't think he even gets much out of that.
Yeah, you just get a single angel off the field.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. There must be something we don't know or see here. There has to be.
Could have been. Again, worried about a Mowgli, maybe didn't. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
Because if he sang that and then he was able to play the red and trigger the red, sack the Lenny, and then play like a Hades and then start setting up the line for Prince Philip long term, I could see getting the damage to stick now meaning something. But it just feels a little awkward as this sits right here.
Yeah. Kirsten, will we go in with another red panda? We're tapping off 4, or exerting all 4, so probably not. Here comes Angel into the field. Angel can hurl a snowball at this Lenny, and I believe Lenny has 2 health. Yep, so there he goes.
Yeah. Snowball that Lenny, imagine if Aaron next turn got to sing a strike and then draw a strike and sing another strike. He'd be drawing 4 cards, discarding 2, but he's filtered through 4 cards. The deck be exactly what it wants in that situation.
Yeah.
This could be a Dr. Bush. Oh, it's a Chernabog.
Chernabog. Ooh, not as powerful with that Lilo discarded.
Yeah, that's really awkward now. And that's a really good move from her because if he picks the Angel, which I would kind of want to here, right?
Yeah,
he's still going to lose it to that Lilo's ability when it quests next turn.
What is remind me? Is the Lilo on play or is it when it quests? I don't remember.
So on play, all your characters get Challenger too. that Lilo's ability would be really good to have on screen right now, production. But its other ability is when you quest with this character, chosen alien gains Challenger 2 and can challenge ready characters this time.
Oh.
So it goes back to like literally what we were just saying: one steal if you want challenge ready characters.
Yeah.
And this used to be really good with like that 4-drop stitch from Reign of Jafar, which would draw you a card whenever you banish a character with him.
Does it gain strength as well as the ability to challenge ready?
It gains Challenger 2.
Okay, so the angel would be able to take out the Chernobog.
Yes, the angel would. The angel. I'm assuming Kirsten is going to do the thing where
Got the
she's
old
just
criminal
going.
mind.
She's going criminal mind. Yeah,
we just summon our spirit and say, "Oh, Radigan," and send Chernobog pack into the discard.
Yep.
Kirsten now putting a lot of board. This is looking very bad for Aaron. Like this deck can take over if it gets late enough, but we're not set up at all for it.
This is rough. Like, Rivers, what were you saying about Amber Steel doesn't quest a lot right now? Because Kirsten's at 8 lore on turn 5 right now.
It does. It's making it look like it, right? No 2 lures, but who cares if your opponent isn't doing anything to your board? Aaron has to essentially take a turn off, spending 3 ink just to use the guidebook to get 2 cards deeper.
This is rough. I don't think it's going to be very hard for Aaron to come back from this situation without some type of removal. I take that back.
I mean, we have the device, but we still need a character to get like, even if you played the Milo next turn, you still need another turn to turn it into the fill up.
Oh, no, not benching. So, well, no. So the thing is, right, Kirsten's has to be a little concerned here if she doesn't have item removal, because Aaron's at that critical. He's going to be at that critical 7 ink next turn where he can hard cast a Milo, bounce something to Kirsten's hand, and slow her down just enough where she is not going to win next turn. And then the following turn, he will be able to sing Hardcast Malicious Me is Scary and Retro Evolution Device to Milo to play a big fill-up.
If we have those cards, but I think Aaron's also a little low on cards in hand, and this ain't no Milo coming out.
Oh, they could be, because if he plays the Hades here, he could just sack the Milo after he draws 2 off of Hades.
Although, honestly, if he plays Hades, I feel like Kirsten just, okay, go ahead. I'm not going to let you draw more. Like, I'll just put the card away.
Yeah.
But most of these cards have already done what they need to do on her side. Sorry, go ahead.
You don't know. Like, I think he's deciding how much of a risk factor he wants to take here. If he has the Hades, ink, and then just hardcast the Milo, but he may be hoping for, like, if he has Hades, to get into that situation where he can play the Hades, and he did. There it is. I take. I'm saying the words. Kirsten's deciding.
I think you just bottom deck. You do not let him draw more.
Well, the thing is, he's going to draw at the end of the turn regardless if he has the Milo.
Yeah, but you don't give him even more cards. And I'm not sure what he picked. I think he maybe picked the Lilo. Looks like she started to reach for that. Like, none of these cards are so valuable that you have to keep them on the board. I don't remember what the Pleakley does, but
the Lilo's kind of valuable because if he plays a Milo, she can challenge ready characters because of that Lilo.
Are we gonna Milo? Looks like we might.
I mean, if he has it, he should do it.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think there's much reason to not do it, right?
He could also play another Hades and ink.
True.
And then set up just...
For those who
aren't... There it is.
If you aren't aware how the Retro Evolution device works, you exert it and you pay 1 ink and you banish 1 character of yours, and then you may play a character of up to 2 cost more than that character. And then Milo will trigger. Milo, when he enters, choose a character, return it to its owner's hand as long as you discard a card, which I think we still have to discard.
Yep.
Gonna get rid of Terran.
Yep. I have gone draw a card at the end of his turn. Now, this is a really... Kirsten just has to start questing out at this point with what's on her board, because she can't challenge down that Milo and have any challenge rate character shenanigans going on. And she's going to have to just put more pressure. She will be able to get to 18 lore at the end of this turn.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Kirsten's in a bad spot. Like, even if Aaron gets the dream turn and is able to MMS switch into the fill up, he's going to be out of cards at that point. So Kirsten essentially can just reload the board. Okay, answer the next one. Like, I feel like Aaron needs to find a way to get the hand healthy at this point.
Well, no, he has 3 cards in hand.
Oh, does he? I thought he only had 2. Okay, he's got 4.
Oh no,
he has way more than I thought.
Yeah, remember the Hades happened, so he drew 2 off of that.
That's
then
right.
he drew
that's right,
the end
because
of
she
the
let him
turn.
draw the 2.
Right. So he's refilled his hand to a very healthy size now.
I don't know if I like playing the characters into this, right?
I think she's just calling his bluff. I think she's saying you have to have it.
But if you just quest to 18 and then
he has
to have it anyway.
Wait, why didn't she quest to 18?
That's what I'm saying. She could have quested to 8. He has to have MM. Like, Milo alone cannot answer that many characters. He has to have the combo. So if he has to have the combo, don't play out more characters into it. Do we have it? No, because we did Chernabog. Of course, we could still sing and do it, right?
Yes, he can still sing and do it, but the fact that he's Chernabogging first makes me think he doesn't have it.
The good news is the Chernabog is free in the sense that Kirsten doesn't have a character to recover this time.
Yeah, like she can challenge down the Ursula with the Milo and then drop another Milo, but I don't think that gets it for him unless he does like some Lyle thing where he can start draining more. But I don't think the maths in this situation. I don't think there's a way out.
Milo will take out Ursula. We are going to sacrifice the Chernabog. Is it another Milo?
Is it another Milo? Yeah.
Which it is, but we still have 4 lore on board, even when we bounce one of these.
Yeah, I think this is game. I think we're going to game 2. Yeah. I don't see the way out. If the Lyle was still out, like this is why killing that Lyle early mattered a lot. Even moves 2/2. That Lyle was still out, Kirsten would have lost 2 to 3 the lore by now. And Aaron loses this game. Maths.
Man, unless Kirsten falls asleep. But yeah, I think we're just going to draw, quest out. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So Kirsten still got there nonetheless. Yeah.
Aaron was playing it out to say, I'm going for this. I'm going to play it out and show what it can do at least.
Well, and sometimes I don't know how familiar Aaron is with this deck. If this is a newer deck, if they've been on it the entire set, sometimes when you're learning a deck, it's not terrible to just play lines out like that. Like, you know what? Let me just get the practice of what I am looking for and not looking for.
And hands down, I've told a lot of my friends that too, and that play with up here. They'll be like, okay, I'm just losing in 2 turns. I'm like, well, still play. You can learn your lines. You can sometimes learn the lines and decisions you can make in a game that you didn't think existed until that moment when you're suggesting it.
The bad news for Aaron is that Aaron got to go first in that match, so it wasn't like Kirsten got first turn advantage. The good news is that Kirsten had a pretty ideal opening with the Angel into the song. So like if Kirsten doesn't get as clean of an opening, that should give Aaron more time to set up the device.
Oh yeah, hands down. Like it is one of those turn 1 Angel with this deck is necessary on a draw.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, so I assume Aaron is going to go first again. I said I assume Aaron is going to go first again.
It would be very strange if they didn't. Until sometimes I've had people at locals say, "Do you want to go second?" Like even though I've won the die roll, and I always say, "Sure, if you can give me a good reason to."
I'm actually the weirdo where in the beginning of this set, my Emerald Circle of Life deck had no turn 1 play. So I always picked going on the draw, and it messed with my opponent so much.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, they'd be like, "What is he? Are you mad? He must be mad. Why would he choose that?"
Yeah, it was great because he could just go Angel, Ursula, just like Kirsten just did, and then my turn 3 would be like, "Hey, I'm going to sing this Akud. Here's Chernabog. Good luck."
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Waiting to see the turn. I actually saw a version of this earlier today, and it was a red-green. That was pretty annoying because they were able to like just put Olaf's out for free, which really drains your lore. Obviously, they have some red removal. I was like, "Ooh, that deck's obnoxious."
And did you see Leviathan, the big dumb thing, come out?
It did not. So I'm assuming they must have had it somewhere. They weren't able to get to it, but
there's no way you're running Olaf, Ruby,
Right.
Emerald, Retro Evolution device, and you don't have Leviathan on tap.
Yeah.
If we say Leviathan enough times, I'm sure Rascal will show up in chat at any moment.
It'll just raise from the depths. Our players are resolving their mulligans, and at least this was a lot quicker than the last match we covered. A nice change of pace to have this one just a little bit shorter.
Yeah, just a little bit. It was only
Yeah.
a 18-minute match compared
right.
to 18-minute game. What was it? 53?
40, 50 something minutes.
It was like 53 for game 1 last time.
Yeah. Nice change of pace. And Kirsten knows what to just go fast. You're the one who has to answer what I'm going to do as the player. Looking at that the poo mat that Kirsten has, the honey characters, haven't really seen much from them. I guess that just kind of didn't pan out the way maybe some people thought it would, or maybe it was never great. I don't know, but
I say if we give it a set or two, it may start getting good.
Yeah. Well, and if they add more honey characters, surely it can only get better.
Yeah, but I also think it may be a case of like Blurple just needs a few more pieces to the puzzle, let's say.
Yeah,
I will say
it lost some key cards, so
I will say Kanga singing Let It Go on turn 4 is scary when it happens.
As we see an ink of Hades, and we got the double angel again. Mike on a mic. Am I having deja vu? Like I think I just saw this opening. I'm
getting a little concerned on this one. If we see an Ursula next turn, it's going to be like, okay, we chat. We know where this is going.
Maybe Aaron can stick the Lyle this time if we've got it.
Honestly, if I'm Aaron, I don't even drop Lyle again. I hope I have the 2-drop Aladdin. Okay, it's Lyle. I'm wrong.
I'm having major deja. If Kirsten drops Ursula and sings Strength, I'm gonna be like, hold on, there's something wrong with the feed. We're just replaying the last match.
Prince Philip going into the discard, which is interesting because we know there is no Circle of Life or Sully option here to Aaron right now.
Well, there's an ink of an Ursula. Are we playing an Ursula? No.
Oh my god!
Luke, the feed is broken. This is game 1. Like what happened?
Look at Kirsten's giving us her face. Look at that grid on her face as she does that. She knows I just copied. Okay, now it's no longer the same match because we have a Huntsman appearing, and this Huntsman is very dangerous for Kirsten because he is a 4/3 with Ward. So that means there is no removing him with songs next turn. And the big end here is she can ramp into a Hades with a Retro Evolution device because he's a 3-drop character.
Yeah. The Lilo is going to go into the Inkwell. Obviously, the challenge ready not going to be available until it's able to quest. And yeah, you can just see the stall on Kirsten. What a difference the Huntsman versus Lenny last time.
Yeah, it turns out when you can't remove your opponent's characters and your Steel Song, it's a lot harder to pilot a Steel Song deck.
And Pleakley draws a card if there's an alien in play, right? When he enters?
Yes. Okay. Pleakley is essentially set 1 Maleficent. Just you need to have a alien.
Huntsman is going to quest. And we're going to put out our Retro Evolution device. Are we going to use it? There's an MMS. We already see one fill up. Is this going to come out into Hades? It's Chernobog, actually. Nice.
That's rough. You should hit I would think you hit the Ursula here, Aaron. So that way Kirsten cannot sing a Thunderbolt on you next turn.
Turns out Chernobog's really good when he comes down so early that they couldn't have possibly had anything into the discard. When I first saw that card, I was like, man, when you play that on turn 5, they're going to have something in there by that point. But yeah, when you're cheating it out this early, it's pretty good.
And if you're an Amber Emerald, it comes out on turn 3 a lot.
Yeah, with the Akud.
Like if you're turn 3ing that against your opponent and they just finished their turn 2, it can be devastating.
Gross.
All right, Kirsten, how are you going to respond? The thing is, like, that Chernobog may come out a bit too early. Yeah, because if Kirsten plays Aerial here,
right? Or Thunderbolt.
Yeah. Like a Heartcast Bolt here wouldn't be the worst thing because it slows down Aaron's line to that like what we're going to call it, the 3-5-7 line that this deck has now, essentially, where he could just play Milo next turn.
She does take your advice, puts out the aerial. If this aerial can stick around and we can boost it and get some songs going, Kirsten's going to get a lot of card draw. Aaron, of course, is going to do her best to prevent that from happening. Todd comes down. We're going to draw. Is it one card or is he the 2 cards and you discard one?
Todd's supposed to draw 2 cards. Did Aaron just draw 1 or 2?
I thought it looked like Aaron only drew 1, but I maybe missaw that.
Production, can we get a check on that? Did he draw 1 or 2 there?
Yeah. We do see the second MMS go into the discard. And we're turning the MMS sideways for... Oh, did we sing it? Off of the Todd.
No, I think he was questing.
Okay, maybe he was questing.
So he discarded the MMS to Todd. And then he discarded the guidebook to Milo's capability.
Okay.
Yeah. Milo's ability, not capability.
Fair enough. All right. So this is looking way, way better for Aaron this time. We've already got big... You know, I never really cared for this Milo card, but again, it looks a lot better when you play him for free on 4 ink versus having to get all the way to 7 to get him out there.
Well, he's not free. He costs 1 ink. It wasn't free. All right. It's not free. We're not in free territory yet.
It's basically free. It is a heavily reduced cost. We'll say that.
And Kirsten's deciding, do I play my aerial and boost my aerial? Or do I do something else?
Yeah, Kirsten was already like 8+ lore essentially when at this point last time. We are going to bring down the Lilo. Support could matter here if we're able to challenge into something. Obviously, Aaron's going to do the best to just not even give Kirsten that opportunity, but Aaron's hand's pretty low, only 2 cards. And I have this sometimes happens with this deck, right? If you can't keep your hand healthy, you will run out of these crazy switch ups to run into.
Yeah, like him discarding that book last turn makes me really wonder what's still in his hand.
Yeah.
Because that's just a guaranteed 2 cards in your hand. Uh-oh.
We no. Switch to Philip with no damage? Okay, switch into itself. Oh,
and so Aaron is struggling for cards now.
Yeah, I mean, you're slowing Kirsten way down, right? And Kirsten is at 0, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe it'll be enough. I don't know. We'll find out.
Aaron is at 6. He's quested twice with Milo's at this point. No, not with Milo's. He's quested enough though to have 6 at this point.
I think he had the Chernobog, the Huntsman. That was 3.
Right. That was the 3. Yeah. And that is one nice thing is like you get that quest in and you can banish your own character and protect losing that character next turn to a challenge.
If I'm Kirsten, I don't hate, especially if I have a song, I don't hate the idea of dropping the aerial, boosting, taking out the Todd, and then if he has to bounce it again, now you're getting the boosted cards back. Obviously, you're going to get punished if you run into the MMS, but he's already discarded 2 Philip a Philip and 2 MMS.
Yeah. Like, honestly, I think Kirsten, if she had a song, she would have done that by now.
Yeah, I agree. Lilo and Stitch coming back down, just saying, hey, if you turn that Milo sideways and he just stays there, I will punish you with this support power up.
Nothing is like Aaron drawing a Hades. If he draws a Hades here is going to be insane.
We did ink. Can't really see because of the glare. Some card that I'm assuming is inkable.
I let's hope it's inkable. That could be an ink drop for all we know.
That's how you really get your opponent, right? You just put it under the glare and they can't tell that it's an uninkable.
Aaron just think the Pyros he has from set 14 without any of us knowing it existed yet.
Right? The power of proxies. I couldn't see what it was. So inked. It looks like we just passed. Yeah.
Oh man. That's that. I'm concerned I'm concerned for Aaron now if he's doing that.
Yeah.
That means he's very gassed.
Yeah. And the Lilo will not just go to a Milo trade with that resist 1 it has. So Lilo can pretty safely quest here. Lilo and Stitch, I should say.
Yeah. See what we're going to see.
Okay.
So that's dangerous.
It's Challenger 2 to the board, right?
Yes, but next turn, if Kirsten quests with that Lilo and Stitch can now take out the Milo without impunity because it will survive the challenge.
I wonder if there is an argument here for Kirsten to just put on some pressure lore-wise and just say, hey, you're stalling, but she could also take the patient route and say, well, I'm going to hope you keep stalling, and then I'm just going to wait and let my board build up. Obviously, it's going to get very punished if we run into that board wipe combo, but like I said earlier, 2 MMS already in the discard. There's a fill up there already.
There's an argument that she can quest with the Bleakly and the Angel in this situation.
Yeah.
And I can understand holding the Lilo and Stitch just in case.
We did pass. We're going to drop Lyle. Lyle's going to scry. Our 3rd MMS. Oh.
I think Aaron's just saying I'm winning regardless of
Yeah.
This is a Hades.
It is Hades.
It's a Hades.
A good switch. Even if he targets the Lilo and Stitch, okay, I was like, maybe you just let it go. But man, okay, I don't think you're in danger of a board wipe now, right? Unless there's some other tech in his deck that we're not aware of. But
if he had one more ink, like there's a little bit of a threat, but that Elsa's in his deck. So that Elsa is another case of like that 3-drop Maleficent from set 1. It's like play this card, draw a card.
Yeah,
that is exactly what she does. She's also a great shift target for the Ice Queen from set 1, reprinted and fabled.
Aaron doesn't quest, and that Lilo is ready to do some power. So if Lilo goes on this quest, it gives all aliens, is that right? The ability to challenge
chosen alien.
Oh, okay, a single one.
So when you play her, all of your characters, regardless of alien status or not, gain Challenger 2. When you quest with her, chosen alien can challenge ready characters this turn and gains the Challenger 2.
And with the Lilo and Stitch support backing it up, you could send one of these 1-drop angels in very easily.
Well, actually, yes. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because Lilo and Stitch supports it by +3.
Yeah.
It hits for 5. Boom. Goodbye, Milo.
Yeah, and honestly, the Angel is a better sacrifice at this point than the Bleakly, just because they still both sing for 3.
Mm-hmm.
So we're on a quest for 1 on Kirsten's side. We are going to... She's
reading
card.
It doesn't you didn't tell me the self-banish part.
I was about to say she's sacrificing into Ether, apparently going to the Ink Dark.
Right.
So now we're going to quest with Lilo and Stitch.
That's 3 lords, nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, it's really good here. We're going to boost an angel. And that boosted angel is going to say goodbye to Milo.
Which not only does that get rid of our ward and our 3 lore, it makes getting to something like the fill up that much harder because now you have lower costs you have to switch up into.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, that's this. I don't know if Kirsten came teched to deal with the Milo and the warded characters, but that Lilo is such a good way to deal with it. Because if Aaron doesn't have the removal for the Lilo, it just slows everything down.
And there's our Strength of a Raging Fire doing
she should hit the
damage to Hades. No, picks Elsa.
Oh, I don't know about that. I take it back. I do know about that. That was
he hurled his thunderbolt.
Oh, everyone, I'm wrong on this one. The bolt has come down.
Don't you love plays like that? You're like, oh, I don't know. You left the. Oh, never mind. You killed that thing too. Like,
yeah, it's over.
A good turn of events for Kirsten. And again, one of the weaknesses of this Retro Evolution deck is it's kind of struggling to keep its hand healthy, using a lot of ink now to put this Elsa out, but we can switch it out into something bigger if we have a good target for it. Yeah. Discarding the book.
That
honestly, we used it. Okay. No, we used it. Sorry.
Yeah. That Lyle is going to have to deal with the Lilo.
Yeah.
Like you just have to take the trade now when you've got the chance to do it.
Yeah. He wants to keep it around, I think, for the lore drain, but like you said, that Lilo is just going to let Kirsten's board just keep picking you off.
Yeah, something's got to give, and this is it. Now, if Aaron does have a 5-drop, so he can ink and retro the Elsa, then maybe something can happen there.
We are up to 7 ink.
I think he's really considering if there may be something in his hand worth retroing. Yeah, it looks like he's asking for a read of what Lilo does again.
And says, yeah, okay, I can't let that stick around.
Nope.
And this looked like such a good start for Aaron, but Kirsten has absolutely clawed it back. I like what you said earlier too, right? If Kirsten's used to playing Steel Song and hey, these worded characters just shut off all my songs, this Lilo is such a good tech option. Okay, well, if I can't hit you with a song, I'm going to challenge you as another Lilo and Stitch team up. And Kirsten says, "Yep, hit the gas, baby. We're going to Oahu because we're pressing on the lore."
All I'll say is if you tuned into the rules of Villainy Deck Test Tuesday last night that happened near the end and after ICL, you would understand why Kirsten is running those Lilos right now.
She ran into a bunch of ward, eh?
I didn't say that. I'm just saying she's definitely usually on top of the randomness here.
We see another Lyle. We will get a draw and a discard. Lyle can siphon off one lore, but that doesn't seem like a whole lot when your opponent's got 8 sitting there on the board. Another
There'll be a lot of a second Lyle here, so.
Yeah.
Once you start like chaining, because like Kirsten has 1, maybe no cards in hand. I don't know how many cards she has in hand. If she has no cards in hand, she could be in a little bit of a rough situation if Aaron turns some type of lore drain and card draw filtering machine on.
We did get rid of another fill up, maybe realizing that card isn't going to do much for us with without the MMSs to back it up.
Yeah. Yeah, well, be careful because if there's a max goof in there, that could change it. But yeah. I'm assuming there isn't from how much she's discarding those.
I mean, the only thing that can challenge currently is the Elsa. It can't take out any character. I'm assuming we're going to swap it out. Is this Hades? Oh no, Terran. Okay.
Terran. That's very useful here because the Lilo that has been banished is going to go to her discard, I assume. Go back into the bottom of her deck.
You take both the characters, just in case you play Turnabout. Is Terran a 5/5 or is he a 6/5?
Alan is a 5/5 with Rush.
Okay, so he can't take out the Lilo and Stitch. Importantly, though,
no, he cannot.
Has to pick off the littler cards.
Yeah, and then Lyle trigger. That was honestly not the worst follow-up from Aaron in this situation. He's rebuilt his board. They're both kind of in a top decky situation. It's not perfect top deck because they each have 1 card in hand, but he is forcing Kirsten to decide on questing or challenging. But I have a feeling she's just about to sing something.
Oh, if this is a song. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Radigan. Oh, Radigan. I was gonna say she could easily challenge it with the support boost. Mike on a mic. Why do that when you can keep your character around and draw a card on top of it?
It's just 3-cost inkable singable Dragonfire if your character has 5 or more power. I'm sure that support Lilo and Stitch can't just turn any character to 6 power with 2 of those on board.
And Kirsten has a victory ready to go on the board. Aaron has 3 challenging power, not enough to take out either of these. I don't know what he could draw at this point.
Yeah, Aaron really needed some type of board wipe available to him by himself by now. And there is 1 card he can top deck here.
What is it? Is it?
No, not even that because he has 2. He only has 1 card. There's a world where like he hits Milo, MMS, and Philip in hand because I think that's 8 ink. I see. I may be miscounting.
I think he's got 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he has 7.
Okay, no, he has 7. Yeah, he would have to have 4 cards in hand to have a way out.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, play Milo, sing MMS with Todd, switch Milo out for Philip. But yeah, I don't think that's
and you don't even trigger the Milo, right? You just say I'm doing it.
Yeah, that would be so. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think we've even drawn for a turn yet, right? Maybe there's a question.
I'm curious what's going on. Okay, we're good to go.
Gotta burn.
We're trying.
Okay. Yeah, so it looks like what happened, we were actually, Mike on a mic and myself caught it earlier, is that Aaron did only draw 1 for Todd, and it looks like he may have done that as well the second time he played it. Judge caught it. They kind of were just trying to hammer out through it, but essentially realized too much time has passed, too many turns have gone by, so just we're going to move on. Beyond it, we do get a recycle with the Aladdin and Genie, but yeah, I think that this one's over. We can't deal with these Lilo and Stitches.
Yeah, that's going to be game. I mean, it is a shame because if Aaron had caught like that draw to discard
Yeah,
one
he hurt
instead of draw one,
himself.
yeah, like he'd have 2 more cards in hand right now.
Yeah.
Those 2 cards could be a huge difference.
Yeah, that could have made a thing because again, that seems to be what's hurting this deck every time I've seen it is that the power plays it has are incredible, but if it runs out of cards, it can't do anything, just like most decks. So
Like,
Kirsten is going to take that one.
Like insert every combo deck right now.
Yeah.
So you know what scares me about the color combos we've seen so far?
What's that?
We have not seen Amber Emerald yet.
Oh, that's true. Is it lurking in the wings?
There is a very high chance that we have an Amber Emerald mirror for round 3 about to appear.